Hey, good evening. Happy Friday. It is October 3rd, 2025. This is day 3 of my winter arc, and I want to talk about a topic that is important, and that is ripping out the root, getting to the root. If you want to address anything in life, you have to address the core. Always the core, right? And this goes for a lot of different areas. I'll give you an example. So this time last year, I was super happy. I lost a bunch of weight. I was, very active on my job. I was fasting very, very strictly. Really, really reducing a lot of what I was eating, like really not eating enough calories. But I felt really good about it and I was happy. However, I wasn't addressing the root cause of a lot of the issues I had been dealing with previously. And I was having problems, like in the sense of not like taking a snapshot of everything and maybe only addressing a percentage, right? And not the whole thing. So all roads lead to Rome, rather. You have to address the core or else you're going to have the same problem. Just like when you have a garden, right? They always say, rip the weed from the root. You have to rip it from the root. And a lot of times when you don't, you're going to get more weeds. It's going to grow back stronger. It's very, very important to handle everything from the core, from the root, whatever you want to call it, and not just, work on the leaves, work on the internal. You know what I mean? So this whole arc, I just want to say it's not about always chasing a dragon in the sense of like, I want to be better. I want to be better. You always want to be the best you can be, right? But what it really is for me, at least, it's a transformative period of time where you are daily addressing the issues in your life that you want to change. You are being introspective. I don't know if that's a way you say it, but you're really digging deep. And that's the second word I couldn't say today, by the way. The first one, I forgot what the first word was, but I was like really on the struggle bus with that one. I was like, why can't I talk today? But you really want to dig deep and you want to lay like a life map out. Like, where do I want to be? What kind of person do I want to be? How can I get better than this? You never want to stay stagnant, but you also, like I said in yesterday's video, you want to appreciate where you're at while moving forward to being better. But it's not always about, I got to be better, I got to be better. But if you're not meeting your status quo of where you want to be, then yes, you got to do better, right? So I want to talk super quick about the root, right? When you don't handle the root, you're always going to continue to have problems and they're going to crop up in different ways. Think of like, and not to use another garden analogy, but when they say bamboo is really hard to pull because, it's just hard to curtail in your backyard. It's to wrangle up because the shoots will grow everywhere, right? So it's a lot to dig up. But you want to do that and you want to keep it contained and controlled because then it's a beautiful, lush piece in your garden or wherever it is. If you just kind of let it go, just like the mind, you let the weeds go, then you get lost. And then it's hard to make heads or tails. Think of your garden when you let the weeds go. I know when this happens towards the end of the season, I don't know what's going on in there. You know what I'm saying? I have no idea what's going on. But what I'm noticing is, what is this guy getting? I'm like in a parking lot and I'm like, I have to make my winter arc video. Let me just lock this bad boy. All right. So moving forward, that's what I'm addressing with the winter arc. I know that if you go like on Instagram or TikTok, I don't ever really use TikTok ever, really just for like my tradeswoman stuff, but I should probably post on there too. But if you go on like TikTok or something and you look up winter arc, you see people getting gains. They're talking about fighting and doing really good and getting fit and getting swole and doing all this other stuff. But they're not, a lot of them aren't focusing on the entire picture. Because you can have muscles for days, but if your core is not good, if your mind is not good, then you're going to continue to have problems. I don't give a damn if you have washboard abs if you're not conscientious and you don't care about other people and you're not taking care of each other and you're not working on your relationships. Like this is where it comes out. How many times have you met someone that was really good looking, but like, oh man, they're a jerk. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even being just like, oh, their ego. It's a lot of times they just focused on the aesthetics and they didn't focus on the personality. And you have to focus on the personality, ladies and gentlemen. You have to focus on it. You have to focus on your connections. You have to focus on how you are with people. I'm a very sharp person, and not to get into, astrology and all other stuff, but if we're playing that, I'm very fire. I am the year of the tiger. Like, I'm a very aggressive personality. So I know that sometimes I can come off as very sharp, and I'm trying to dull my sword, so to speak, and really work on those, really pull the weeds of that trait that I have and kind of manicure it so it works in my life. But these are the things. I had something happen earlier today where I did a good job. I trimmed the grass, or I sculpted the landscape after the fact. But I stopped myself from really losing my cool over something stupid because I was just being neurotic with a fellow coworker. But these are the things that happen, and then you address it. You write down what you want to change, and then you move forward with it. So anything you want to address in your life, you find the root. You find the root. Again, not to bring up caffeine, but, I was having all these issues, right? All these, like, why am I having heart palpitations? Why am I having issues sleeping? All this other stuff. And granted, it's not only the caffeine, but in a case of physical side effects I was having with certain things, it was the caffeine. I found the root, pulled it, felt better, right? That's what it is. That's what it's all about. Same thing, if there's fractures in your personality, you find the root, you pull it, you let it go, right? You fertilize the rest of what you got going on, and then you work from there. And that's the biggest thing, and that's what I'm focusing on. And listen, I gotta be completely honest with you. Like, for anybody watching this video, anybody that stumbles across this video, it's a very humbling experience to, post yourself online, especially when you move it up in your career world. You're in a male-dominated field. You got a lot of eyes on you. It's a very humbling experience, and I don't think it's a bad experience for people to have. More people could use a little humbling, to be honest with you. But when you know and you appreciate that time is just flying by you, and you want to make changes, and you want to be disciplined, it's a good thing to have. It's a good tool in your tool belt to have the guts to go out there, go online and, post what you want to post about the kind of person that you want to become, meet other people that are trying to make changes. And that's how you build a community, and that's how you interact with human beings, because in 100 years we'll all be gone, right? And for many of us, much less, myself included, because I'll be 140 or 139 or 138. I'm only 38. Still got a solid year to rock in my 30s. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about pulling the weeds. And that's going to lead into my talk tomorrow, or my video rather, because it's also what kind of, garden are you growing in your mind? What are you feeding it? What kind of seeds are you putting in there? But that's for another topic. But I'm going to wrap it up with this. You got an issue in your life that's bothering you. Find the core. Go to the root of it. Sift through the roots. Sometimes you might pull a couple plants out looking for the core, right? You might think something's a weed and it's not. And you're like, damn it, right? You can always grow that back. But it's very tricky. You know what's interesting too? So not all weeds are bad, right? But it's interesting how nature's so, infallible, right? It's so interesting. There are weeds that will mimic plants, so you don't pull it. Think about that. That's how it is in life as well. Sometimes you think something's good, and you don't get rid of it, but it was a weed the whole time. So anything you want to, get out of your life, and also weeds will siphon the energy from not only the soil, but from the other plants that, and that's why weeds grow so big. Oh, it grows so big as a weed. Siphoning all the energy. It's got nothing really to offer other than destruction sometimes for certain weeds. But that's how you have to look at it. You got a problem in your life, you go to the core. You go to the weed. You pull it by the head. That's it. You get rid of it. And then you cultivate what's left. And again, sometimes in life, there are things that you think are good, but they're actually weeds that are draining your energy. Find the weeds and pull it from the root.